15th, because we're having a fifth quarter right after the game.
And welcome
right
back
here
on the
in this
Tate Branch
parking lot at Faith
halftime
Baptist
Fan of the
Church,
Week segment. It's the
401
Hobbs
South.
game. We're back at the Bulldog Bowl and got an exciting game going on and a second half coming up in just a moment. But we want to introduce this week's Fan of the Week, who's celebrating a birthday today. Let's say tomorrow on
today. Yeah.
Yes, on Friday. Let's say happy birthday and congratulations to JT Jackson. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you. It's an honor to get to be here.
That's great. Now, I understand you're not a native Artesian. You actually got an offer that you couldn't refuse to move your family to Artesia. That's a great story.
Correct. When they offered me that $50 a month raise, I couldn't turn it down.
That's right.
So moved to Artesia 67 years ago.
That's great. So who did you work for at the time, and what did you do most of your time here in Artesia before you retired?
Iverson Supply Company was one of the up-and-coming supply stores. They had several little stores around, but we had a nice brick building. We were right across the street from the refinery, and we could see what was going on. And my boss's desk faced his back was toward the refinery, and one of the workers in there was leaning on the desk, and he looked over there and said, "What's everyone running for?" He said, "I don't know. Let's don't be last."
You don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah. So you raised, you had a couple of children when you moved here.
And had two more, and they all four went through the Artesia school system, and then I wound up with 6 grandkids. They all went through the school system, and when you add all that together, that's 120 years of schooling out of Artesia school system. And I don't know where it's going to end if Ryder retires or what he's going to do to stop the count.
That's right. Now Ryder is your grandson, right?
Grandson.
That's
yes.
right. And he will be at, I think he's at the game tonight. So if you see Ryder, he's fetching the tee after the kickoffs. And I asked him, Artesia's going to score a lot of touchdowns. Is he in good shape to get out there and pick up a lot of tees tonight? We'll see how well he does, right?
Yeah. He's concerned about it. You mentioned maybe 7 kickoffs, and he didn't know if he could make 7 or not.
Well, I'm sure there'll be some folks that'll help him out just a little bit. So your children, they went through the schools. I'm sure they were in sports or other activities at the schools? Sports
and cheerleading and band and chorus, and we hit every phase of it. So.
Yeah, and did you wind up taking kids to any events? I think you helped out with the cheerleaders, right?
As cheerleaders, we had a van, and we'd pack that van full of girls and take off and get them to the game and get them home.
That's right. So you still go to many of the games, a lot of the home games. What is it that you really enjoy about going to Bulldog games?
The home games I make. I don't make any of the out of town games anymore. It's just a little more effort than what I can put out. So I'm satisfied to make the home games, and so. Do
you have any memorable trips or any times that the cheerleaders gave you a bunch of grief or something like that?
Yes, I do. Okay. We went to Tucumcari, and our first stop was Elida, of course, and then we went on to Tucumcari. And when I got to the end of the field there, and I stepped out, and I was tired, going to stretch, and the girls, they started piling out there. We was running a little late. They started piling out. One of the girls locked the door, and my keys were inside, so I got a hold of one of the security guys, and he said, "Well, the locksmith's at the bank right now. They've got a problem down there." So I sit with my car till the middle of the third quarter before I ever got to go find my seat.
All because some cheerleader locked the keys in the car.
Keys, yes. But we made it home, and everything worked good.
Oh, that's great. What is it you really enjoy most, though, about Bulldog sports? You go to a lot of football games and a lot of other activities, but what is it that you've really enjoyed over the years?
Really, my enjoyment was when we played Old Morris Field. And we felt like the spectators were in the game, and you could holler at the players, and they could hear you, and so a lot of my memories go back to Old Morris Field when we were playing football there.
That's right. A lot of great history in that ballpark as well, and I think they're going to do a little bit of renovation work over there real soon to preserve that wall, and that'll be a good thing.
Yeah, to keep the memories.
That's right. Well, it is your birthday. Do we want to sing JT happy birthday today? Anybody want to join in and sing? Jeff? No. All right. I'll start it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear JT. Happy birthday to you.
That's an honor.
Now, what does JT stand for?
Well, it's a J and a T, and that's the way you come up with it. And you want to know how I got it?
Sure, yeah.
I named it. I called the Bureau of Vital Statistics in Oklahoma, and 30 years ago, and found my birth certificate, and it had no name on it.
Really?
And the guy said, whatever name you want, so you're one of the few that can name yourself. So
you got to name yourself.
I got to name JT.
I thought it was like Jerome Tiberius or something like that, but it's just JT.
J and a T.
There you go. Well, we have a couple presents for you. Let me reach over here. We've got a mug that says Tate Branch Fan of the Week, and number one fan, that's for you.
What's in it?
Whatever you want. And then we have a $50 gift certificate, and this is from Tom and the folks over at the Adobe Rose restaurant here in Artesia. So we'd like to present that to you for you and your family to enjoy. And thank you once again for being our Fan of the Week.
Glad to get a free meal off of Tom and Tim.
You can tell we don't script these things out ahead of time, do we? JT, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Honor to meet you, see you again, and talk with you. And if you've got a nomination for Fan of the Week, get a hold of Perry at Tate Branch, and hopefully they'll be on next week. We'll see you. Second half is coming up. And welcome back on the Tate Branch halftime Fan of the Week segment. It's the Hobbs game.
Rushing Jesse LaRock, 7 for 64.